Good morning. It is Sunday, April the 6th. Just wanted to say good morning to everybody. Hopefully you had a wonderful Saturday and that your Sunday is going really well so far. It's like 7:30. Wow, it's almost 8 o'clock in the morning. Very peaceful, isn't it? Very peaceful. We're going to start off with the basil and the zucchini. You can see I pretty much just pulled everything. I was thinking, I'm going to put another basil and another parsley here. But then I got to thinking, we're really eating quite a few radishes. Why not plant some radishes here? So we went and we took some very cheap napkins that you get from like these small pop and shop delis. The kind that are like one ply and they're white and they're good for just like one wipe of the face and then you have to throw it away. What my mom and I did was we split down the center of the napkin and unfolded it. And we got 2 pieces of bias napkins, 1 ply. And then we took our seeds because we wanted them to stay uniform and not scatter when you water them as much the first or second time. And every inch we put a seed in there, and we used a paste made out of flour and water to kind of keep the seeds in place and also act as a sealing. We just got those sorry, starting to come off of a cold. We laid those out, and for several days we've been having them dry. They were practically dry the first day. But then I thought, well, I'll just come out here and I'll flatten out the bed, kind of churn it up a little bit, and then we could do radishes. Radishes don't need a lot of space or soil, and I could probably get 2 sides there, 2 tapes there, 2 tapes that we created there, and 2 tapes that we created there. And that would be a good place to, because it's getting kind of late to do the parsley. I might do the parsley and the basil for the fall session. I'll start that in September, putting those out. And as you can see, we're blocked by the sun, which was right over there, by this house until about, I'd say about 10, 11 o'clock. And then by 1 or 2, the sun's over there and it's blocked by this house. So this is a really good area to have it. You put your plants over here that don't need a lot of sunlight. And that they're blocked by the heat of the sun, especially in the evening times. So that's my plans. And I'm wearing my Goofy. Is that Goofy? Yeah, that's Goofy. Pajamas. And not sponsored. I love this. Plus, Blackberry just came out. Oh, it's so tasty. Okay. Now we'll come over here. Here's our beans, green beans. We have I always get it wrong. Okay. Right here's the contenders. Oh, we're out of focus. Right here's contenders. And right here are the providers. If you're new to the channel, what we did was we're in a new area. We're in Marana, Arizona, Zone 9. We weren't quite sure what green beans grew well in this area. So we did an experiment. We did a pole bean, a Kentucky Wonder. We had a bunch of them and we had them on a trellis. Those, those took a while to develop. They took a lot of time to develop and then actually go up and do the vining. And we probably got 1 or 2 beans from it. It was like, okay, that was a waste of time. Then next to it, we had Blue Lake. Blue Lake, it was kind of like the runt. That will probably do better in a different zone than we're in, because we're kind of in an arid desert. And if you can believe it, by the end of next week on Friday, it's going to be 102 out. That's what they're forecasting. That's Fahrenheit, of course. And then next to Blue Lake, we had the providers and the contenders, which they did really well. And actually, the contenders were the ones that bloomed faster than the providers, but then the providers started producing the fruit or the green beans quicker than the contender. But when all was said and done, we probably got like 3 nice batches of green beans. So I started these early. I started these towards the end of February. Can you believe it? Because it's starting to get into good temperatures and it just took off. So I'm hoping that they're almost ready to start blooming. You go in here and look. You can kind of see right there where we're starting to get some of the blooming. Or the getting ready to do it. Anyway, that's our green beans. And guess what we're having now? There's the blossoms. Can you see that? Get really close. This is a Japanese eggplant. And Japanese eggplants, I planted this last fall in September last year. After I planted that, we got so many eggplants. It was amazing. So we kept it covered through the frozen, our winter freeze, which is like, it was only like 2 or 3 weeks this year, which is common. We mainly go small spring to a long summer to a short fall and then a really brief winter. And before you know it, February comes and we start to heat up again. It seems to be the cycle anyway. All of this plant lost all of its leaves. And then come end of February, early March, started getting the leaves back. And now it's like glorious. So we should get a lot of Japanese eggplant. Here is the cherry tomatoes, which are doing really great. I think I showed this last week. Let's see if we can find them. Right there. My hand's in the way. See them? Cherry tomatoes. And then these two are beefsteaks. They're getting taller. We grew beefsteaks last year. And I swear they got all the way up in here. And I did a no-no. I put the baskets in wrong. So I'm thinking I squeezed in these tips into this basket, and I'm going to get some zip ties and do some zip ties around each side. That'll keep these together. It's pretty sturdy. I'm going to do it on that side too, so that they both have. They usually went up and did a trellis, but we had tons and tons of fruit. They really grow well out here. They got huge too, which was amazing. But look at all these blossoms. Isn't that pretty? And our zucchini took off. We started these from plants. We usually have a better, I mean, it doesn't matter, plant or seed, it both works. We knew we had a short growing season, so a lot of times it's better to just get them as a plant, small little plant, and they'll take off, as you can see here. We're getting a lot of blossoms, not much of fruit yet, which worries me. But yeah, the blossoms are sure coming on. So I don't know if the fruit will come a little bit later, once the leaves gets a little bigger. We'll have to see. Jalapenos. Here and here. We planted these, let's see, a year and a half ago. And they're going strong. I'm trying to remember, but they're just going strong. What they'll do is they'll lose their leaves in the wintertime. They'll get the leaves back. Then the hotter part of the summer, I keep them covered. Give them a little sunlight in the morning, but primarily keep them covered until September. And then they'll kick back in and do another crop for you. But you can see we got a lot of jalapeno blossoms. No fruit I can see quite yet, but believe you me, they'll pop on and go strong. We had so many jalapenos, I had to chop them up and freeze them, and I gave my daughter quite a few, just from 2 plants. And then here, these two are the bell peppers. You could kind of see them right there. That's one that's beginning to blossom, and there's another one there. So they're coming in. This, I think it's too late to, if we're going to be in the 100 degrees by next Friday, and usually the end of May is when it's so hot out, beginning of June, that things start dying. I think it's kind of late. We had a straggler beet to plant this. So I'm going to hold off maybe doing beets until the fall. And then we tried onions this year. Look at that. So normally in this bed we planted spinach, and then we had leaf lettuce. And unfortunately with the leaf lettuce, it didn't do too good during the spring and summer because it was just too hot, and the leaf lettuce was really, really bitter. Tried it again in the fall, this September, and it barely grew. Until it got to about the end of November, 1st of December, we had a patch of like 3 or 4 leaf plants that came up and did produce, and we got maybe 1 batch of lettuce, and we wilted it with bacon. It was really good. So we went out here, we planted our red onions. You start them from little baby They kind of look like that, but we're smaller. And they come in clusters. We bought them at Lowe's. So we got the red onion, and then over here is the Walla Walla white onions. I think they're sweet. Not sure. But then look what happened. Our spinach started popping up from last fall's planting. So we got spinach coming up, and then we've got leaf lettuce coming up. Leaf lettuce coming up as well. So I have to watch the leaf lettuce, make sure it doesn't choke out the onion. But from what my mom has researched, lettuce and onions grow well together. So there you are. As well as spinach. This, I always call it the dinosaur spinach because it gets those crinkly leaves on them, but they taste really good. So anyway, let's take you over here. These are our fox ferns, foxtail ferns. We planted these in as soon as we got these in our new home. We got these raised garden beds, and you can see them there, along with the dog poop. Gotta clean that up. But fox ferns, we got 3 of those. Those are doing good. Then we got these red. I always like showing these off. Aren't those cute? I want to call them like little red tiny carnations, but I'm sure they're called something else. Don't know what they are, but they're acting really well as a ground cover. And we don't really do much to it. They're tied to a watering line that comes through here. You can see it right here. Watering line, and then it feeds out and waters right at the center of the plants. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4 that were put in, and this one died on us. I don't know what happened, but it just died. And then for our granddaughter, we put in like a little fairyland. Isn't that cute? Oh, and we have a weed. Weeds must go. And we have another fairyland here that's being taken over. And my wife likes getting these little metal flowers or ornaments and sticking them in. We did have hummingbird feeders. We haven't done that in about a year. Left it out there, and then there's some hummingbirds. And we did get a lot of hummingbirds that came out too when we fed them. It was really great. Anyway, that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful next week, and I'll catch you on the weekend. Bye for now.